Hello viewers, welcome to a new season of Footprints right here on Soulhour TV. My name is Sandra Agyeman, your host for this special program. And today our guest is none other than Amma Asante. She is a master's degree holder in political science, also the CEO of Abba Consultancy, and is currently working as an information manager in the public health sector. So without too many talking, I will take this opportunity to invite Amma Asante to the program. So Amma, welcome to the program. How are you doing today?
Very fine.
Yeah?
Yes, yes.
Are you enjoying yourself?
Yeah, a lot. It's weekend, it's Sunday. Unfortunately, it's almost over, but I love the weekend.
I know, the weekend,
really
they go by so fast. Before you know it's Monday again.
Yeah.
So I want to first of all thank you very much for making time for us today, out of your busy schedule, to sit down with us and have this conversation. So tell me more about yourself. Let me see, were you born here in this country?
No, I wasn't born here. I was born in Ghana.
Mm-hmm.
Long time ago. Won't tell you when.
Oh, I was about to go there. Actually, I wanted to go there.
So I wanted to beat you. No, I was born in Ghana, and I came here at the age of 6 with my mom to join my father, who had already been here for a few years working and trying to make a living. So we arrived here in December 1978 at the Flat Koningshof, which is no more there, I think. Well, this is the Baumer where I spent my youth.
Okay.
Yeah, so yeah.
How was the Belma like then?
I mean, it was green. It was fun. As a child, I used to play a lot outside with my friends, and I was going to the Kruispunt. That was the school where I was schooling, and it was a very green environment. And after school, I only remember lots of fun and playing outside and just being a kid. And I remember by that time, Amsterdam Southeast was a bit different than now. It was more of a mixed population.
Yeah.
And it was great to grow up here. Actually, yes, it was.
But do you also remember how your youthful days was in Ghana?
Yes. I also do remember my because those were the first years of your life.
Yes.
So one can never forget.
Yeah.
No.
Do you have anything that you've really held on to?
Yeah, which is my grandma.
Oh, okay.
Yes. I was living with her in our village, in our small village, and she was a really sweet woman. And although my father was not around and my mom was not around, I never remember of being, feeling sad or alone, because she really loved me and she really, tried to make me happy. Yeah. And
Okay.
Yeah, I was even, because I was told one day that, your dad is going to come and pick you up. And then I didn't have any imagination of what it means. I mean, when you grow up, you are born in a village, you grow up in a village, the village is your world. You don't know any other world besides it. So, the day that told me that, your dad is in Abrochiri, he's going to come for you, I was like, well, whatever. And then I remember when the day it came, I was kind of mad, because I felt like some grown-ups took the decision that I should be taken out of my comfort zone, out of my village, away from my grandmother, to go to a new place where I didn't have any picture of any idea. I didn't have any friends, even my father. I didn't have the opportunity to live very long with him, so he was also a stranger to me at that time. So
Okay.
Yeah, those are yes.
I can imagine you being angry. So I'm sure when you were leaving, your grandma was also
I didn't want
happy.
to. My grandmother wasn't happy, but I wasn't happy. And I remember when we arrived in Accra with my mom, my uncle had to picked me up on his shoulder to put me in the plane because I was trying to run away. I didn't want to come. So I remember my uncle picked me up and he put me on his shoulder and then he put me in the plane.
So now that you've been here, are you happy that you came?
Oh, that's a difficult question. You know, Sandra, that's a very difficult question. You know why? Because it's yes and no. Mm-hmm. It is yes and no. It is yes in the sense that I'm very grateful for, you know, having the opportunities that I got because of coming here. Yeah. You know, having the opportunity to enjoy education, health, modern infrastructure, everything that you can wish for. But then it doesn't matter how long you stay in this country. You know, every time you go back to Ghana, you have this feeling like, now I'm home. Yes. And it is something that you cannot describe to anybody. Yeah. You know, so this feeling, and I'm not saying that it is there every day, but this feeling that you know that there is somewhere a home, and you know, I don't know if it is all that bad to grow up in Ghana, especially now. You know, Ghana is one of the fastest growing economies in the world, and Ghana is economically, but also democratically, you know, developing. Opportunities are rising, and sometimes you kind of think, oh my God, I live in Europe. Europe is a sinking ship, economic crisis. Oh my God, if I don't go back to Ghana on time, it will not be possible because if I wait too long, things will become difficult in Ghana to go back. So, yeah, it is an idea that is always at the back of your mind. Yeah.
So actually, it's like the coming here is a little bit of like, how do you say that, bittersweet?
No, it has been sweet, but I think I can also manage and make it in Ghana.
Ghana, yes.
Yeah, I don't think this is heaven.
Exactly.
We are not in heaven.
That's the attitude. That's the attitude.
Yeah, this is a good place to be, but it is not heaven.
Yeah. So tell me, as a foreigner, when you first arrived here, what are some of the challenges that you had to go through?
Well, actually, as a child, I didn't experience that I was a foreigner. Because as a child, you know, the way we are created as children, we are innocent. We are not aware of cultural differences, not even of skin differences in the texture, in the color of our skin. It is until grown-ups make you aware that you are different and that you are a foreigner and that you are black. So as a young girl, I really didn't notice anything, you know, until you were growing up and passing through the stages of life. Then, you know, little by little you get to become aware that you are different actually, that you are an African, that you are black, that you are a woman, etc., etc.
That you are a woman, that's also another thing. Oh my God. So, were there also challenges on education front?
Yes, I had challenges, and actually it started after my CITO. You know, when you go to primary school, when you reach the 6th grade, they test you to be able to advise you how to continue your educational life. And I was a smart girl, actually. This is not to brag of, but I could learn. I mean,
you have the right to take credit for it.
I could learn, and I was smart, and I had a good CITO score, which permitted me to go to half of AVO. But then the teacher said, well, you know, it is the CITO score, that is what it says, but we as your teachers, we know you, we know your background, we know your parents, they don't speak Dutch, they work in a factory, and if you would go to the university, it will disturb you because your parents don't speak the language, they can't support you. It's going to be very difficult. We don't want you to suffer. So why don't you go to MAFO? It takes only 4 years after that. You can work at Albert Heijn and earn some living. And I have nothing against MAFO. I have nothing against Albert Heijn. But that is where I started experiencing forms of discrimination.
Yes, because That's not fair.
That's what my teacher used to say. No,
Your teacher really said this.
No, she said it. I remember they said that, why don't you go to Marfo? Then you finish quickly. You can start working.
What age was this?
I was 12.
Oh,
and then my parents said, no. She's smart. We know our girl. She's smart. She can study. And if her CITO score permits her to go to half of FAVO, she will go to half of FAVO.
Yes.
She's not going to Marfo. And then the challenges began because the school advised you Marfo. So when you go with your report to any secondary school, they will say, oh, but you are a Marfo student. So we will not accept you.
Yeah.
So yeah, we had to go to some schools until I finally got the opportunity at the Van der Waal Scholengemeenschap, which is called the Amsterdam Lyceum, at the Maritzkade in Amsterdam East. And they said, okay, we're gonna give you a try. And after the first year, we will evaluate your progress, and then we shall see if you can stay at the half of AVO or you have to go back.
So that means even though you were accepted, you were still tested.
Yeah, their eyes were on me. Because I had this stamp that...
That's terrible.
Yeah, it was. It was a challenge.
And I can see that being very demotivating, actually.
No. And that is so funny because it's like when people want to work against me, that is when
that's when you
stand firm. Yeah, that's when I come alive. That is when I stand firm and I take what belongs to me. No, it never demotivated me, never. I just wanted to fight back and prove that they are wrong.
That they are wrong. Yeah. Wow. You must be a strong woman. I'm sure someone else would have just sat in their room and just cried and fill in the form and just go do it.
No, not me. No.
So, as a young adult, what were your aspirations?
Well, I remember when I came from Ghana at the elementary school.
Yeah.
These Dutch people, they have a way of, from a very young age, they try to sensitize you to be aware of your future and to choose a profession. So I remember when they asked us, all of us in the classroom, what we want to become when we grow up. And some of them said air hostess, and I want to become a police officer, a fire service. And then I said, well, I want to become the president of Ghana. And then I remember the teacher asking, but why? Then I said, well, then I can go back to Ghana and I can help my grandmother. That is the answer that I gave to her because then I remember as a child, at a very young age, I was having this idea that I was privileged, to come here and to have the opportunities that my siblings and, my family members I left behind were not. So I really felt this duty call, to do something with chances that were given to me. So yeah, from a very young age, I knew that I wanted to be in the public sector and that I wanted to be in politics. For me, politics was, if you get there, then you can do something about the lives of other people.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was there since I was a young girl.
Okay. So tell me something, because you said, you mentioned your grandma again, and you also said earlier on that you grew up in the village. So which village was this?
Drabin.
Is that where your parents are also from?
Yeah, that's where my dad from.
Okay.
My dad is from Drabin, and this is always a very difficult. They ask me, where is your mom from? And my mom is from Konongo.
Okay.
But I stayed in Drabin.
Yeah. Okay. So to give us a clear illustration of who Amma is. The person, the personality behind the name itself.
Yes.
To give a clear illustration, can you describe yourself to me in, let's say, 3 words? Or you want me to give you some words and you pick 3 out of them? Or no, you...
Okay, if I have to describe myself, I am optimistic. I am hardworking.
Yeah.
Ambitious. Oh.
You were almost over there.
Yeah, I think, well, one description that really fits me is that I'm movable. When I want something, I will make sure that I get it done. Okay. And that is what describes who I am.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So, I mean, I'm sure, because you come over as a very serious person, I'm sure you're not all work and no play. There must be something that you do to, let's say, have fun.
Yes, of course. I enjoy working, but I also enjoy not working and spending time with friends, spending time with my children, spending time with my family, going to church, having fun and going out and having dinner and shopping and traveling and reading and laughing and yeah. So it's not all work.
It's not all work.
But I love to work. I mean, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So do you also have like a motto or a personal motto that you use to guide yourself through life?
Yes, my motto is that nothing is impossible.
Nothing is
impossible. If you want something, you work for it, you try, you fail, try again, keep on going. It's not impossible as long as you want it hard enough and you are also ready and prepared to sacrifice. Because that is also what comes with it. You know, nothing comes on a silver platter.
Yeah.
If you want something to be done, you know, nobody's going to guarantee you that the first time is going to work. Maybe it will take you 5 times trying, but keep on going.
Yeah. Okay.
So that's my motto in life. Okay. And you know, I cannot does not exist in my vocabulary.
Oh. A strong will there, woman.
No, I can't. No, it doesn't exist.
Okay, no. That's a good attitude to have, because I think sometimes you approach something and the first moment you get a no, then you fall back. Yeah. And you see, you know. Yeah. But then if everybody could have that attitude of, what do you mean by no? Let me try it again.
Yes. Yes.
Then I think we will all get.
Who said no?
Yeah.
Why not?
No? Like,
okay, first time I didn't succeed, then let me learn from it and let me try it a second time.
Let's try it again.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah. So let's go on to your professional life. Because currently you are, let me put it in a shorter form, an information manager, strategic information manager. What does that mean?
Yeah, a good question again, Sandra. A strategic information manager is somebody who is able to translate the business goals of a company into the demanded information, and you organize it in such a way that your information answers the question of the business unit. Okay. Like, for example, where I work in the public health sector, and we provide public health services to the general public. And we also provide with ambulance, fire service, and also in times when there is a crisis or there are public disasters, our organization is responsible to make sure that people are secure and people are safe. And out of doing our work, we generate a lot of information that can be translated into advice to the governments that we work for. And I have to make sure that the information that is generated through the doing of our work is translated into policy advice to our board. Okay, okay. So like, for example, we have the GGD. Yeah. You know, when you have a baby, you take your children to the GGD and they look at your child and they measure them and they weigh them. You know, our physicians, our doctors can tell our board, or they can tell me, well, this year we have been able to see 500 children. Then I will ask them, that is not information. You saw 500 children. What did you see? What, you know, what is the meaning behind the numbers of the children that you saw? Where did the children come from? How is their social economic situation in their homes? How is their education? How is it with their health? So I have to make sure that, you know, through the seeing of people, we get a lot of information, and we have to find a way to translate it into policy to our board. So what are some of the core competencies a person needs to have to be able to do my work? Yes. Well, you know, I think in every organization, one of the most difficult things to do is cooperation for people to work together. Yes. And my work is, although I am behind, or I am running after the information, but if people will cooperate together, if they will work together, that would make my work very easy. So the competence that I need is to be able to mobilize people and to make sure that they work together, that they talk together, that they share their information together. And then something beautiful comes out of it. So the competence that you need is you have to be strategic, because having information can also make you very powerful. Yes. Sometimes people from different departments in our organization, they consider their information to be their information.
Yes, they don't want to share.
They don't want to share it, because the moment they share it, then you know what they know. And when you know what they know, then they might feel that they are not all that powerful anymore. Yeah. So you have to be very strategic in finding a way for people to be convinced that it will be good to share their information with you.
Yeah, okay. So that means you have to also be very convincing, as in convincing other people to do what you want them to do.
Yeah, okay, you have to be able to convince people, make them understand that sharing information will rather make you more powerful than sitting on your information.
Okay. So a quick question before we come to the end of the first segment, and that is before we talk about Abba. Because you have been active in politics. But why did you choose to leave politics?
Oh, this question will always haunt me. Well, when I entered politics, I was very young. I was still schooling. Became a member of the Partij van de Arbeid, the Social Democratic Party in Amsterdam. I joined them. And then I became active in Amsterdam Southeast Department, because that is where I was living. And then soon after I became a member, I remember people coming up to me like, oh wow, we see you talk, we see you walk, we see you do your thing. Wouldn't you like to do other things within the party? And I said yes. And before I knew, right after graduating from the UvA, University of Amsterdam, I saw myself at the city council in Amsterdam, Waterlooplein. And I was only 25. And after 8 years of being there and also working professionally beside it, I said to myself, well, I've been here for 8 years, I have served my duty, it's time to move on. So then I tried to get a seat in parliament, which didn't work because I didn't get a very good position on the list. So it's not that I deliberately left politics, because I think once you are a politician, you will always remain a politician. So, but I just wanted to try to do something else. And besides, I also wanted to take a time of break, because working full time and doing politics besides, since the age I was 25 till 32, it also stood in the way of many other important things in life. Which is socializing, meeting somebody that you like, and to get married and have children, because you start your day at 7 o'clock in the morning and sometimes you come home at 2 o'clock in the night. Where would be the time to have babies? So if you don't give yourself the break, and it is weird that every time I have to stress on this point that politics is very demanding, especially when you get into it at a very young age that I did. I wasn't yet established in my marital life. And it is good that I did it, because then I met somebody and we married, and now I have 2 children, and now I can come back anytime that I want. And besides, I'm a very active member within my party. I do a lot of things within the party, nationally and sometimes internationally. So I'm still in politics, but I'm not in a representative council, or I'm not in a representative body. And at the moment, I am the 3rd person on the list waiting for a seat in parliament. So you never know.
For our viewers, whoever thought Amma had left politics, this should clear that she is still busy doing politics and actually in line to do greater things than we can think of.
Yeah, but she's only no more in the city council of Amsterdam. That one she has left.
Yes, okay. Clear. So I think this brings us to the end of the first segment, and stay tuned and hope you enjoyed it. Hello viewers, welcome to the second segment of this interview slot with Amma Asante. As I said earlier, Amma is a master degree holder in public health. She is also the owner of Amma Consultancy and is currently working as an information manager in the public health sector. Well, it has been interesting, so we're going to take off right where we left off. Amma, well, we have been talking, and you mentioned earlier on that you are married, you have 2 children, and I was wondering, why are we still calling you Amma Asante? Because why are you not, yeah.
I know what I'm going to say might sound a bit controversial, but before I married, I was Amma Asante. After I married, I remain Amma Asante. So people can call me Mrs. Badu if they will feel comfortable with it.
Knowing.
And they can call me Amma Asante. And it's also for the sake of my work, you know. Everybody know you as Amma Asante, and all of a sudden that you're Amma Badu, they were like, who is Amma Badu?
Yeah.
You know, just to save myself, you know, from reintroducing myself again. Professionally wise, I prefer to be called Amma Asante.
Okay.
Yeah.
So as you talk about profession again, because you are the CEO of Amma Consultancy. What does this bureau?
What do we do?
Yeah.
Well, actually, I started Amma Consultancy when I got my second child. I was working for the Central Agency for the Reception of Asylum Seekers.
Yes.
And I had a full-time job, and I was traveling around, you know, the whole country, visiting asylum seeker centers and thinking about better ways to house asylum seekers who came to the Netherlands.
Yeah.
But after I had my second child, I wanted to work on my own so that I could bring my professional life and my personal life more into balance with each other. So I started a consultancy firm, and we are specialized on research, project management, and especially in the past 2 years, I found myself more and more in the role of moderator.
Okay.
So I'm being more and more asked to moderate conferences, debates, lead seminars. So that is what I do in my spare time.
Okay, so that's like small projects here and there.
Small projects when I have time, you know, and when it is interesting, like the coming Wednesday, I will be hosting a seminar that is organized by the Open Society Foundation. It is a foundation that promotes democracy and civil rights of migrants in Europe. And they did a research in 7 cities of Europe about the position of Somali people.
Okay.
And they came out with a research report, and they have done some policy recommendations. But before they will come out into the public, they would like to share the recommendations with a group of expertise of Somalians. So then I was asked to host this roundtable discussion.
Okay.
And it's something that I love doing.
Okay.
Not only that because I love talking, but you know, it also gives you the opportunity to master different kind of topics, because you have to read a lot, you interview people, and you are continuously networking, meeting different people, other people, and that also helps me in all other things that I'm doing. So
okay.
Yeah.
So actually we can switch places right now.
Yes, we could. You want to?
Okay. Well, so you do so many things at a time. So how do you, I'm wondering, because husband, 2 children, Abba, network, information management, still
Politics.
slightly in politics. Wow, that's a long list.
Yeah, but a day has 24 hours, and you know, if you use your time efficiently, there's a lot that you can do. Okay, you will hardly see me sitting on the couch doing nothing or watching TV for hours. You know, every minute that I have, I always try to do something. And I think also the secret is that if you enjoy what you are doing, then you don't feel it as work. You know, and then you can do it for very long, until even sometimes my husband says, "Hey, go to bed. It is 2 o'clock. You are working tomorrow morning. What are you doing?" So, and then I'm like, "Oh yeah, he's right. I have to go." He says that to me every night. And to wonder.
I was about to
was the A. He always sends me to bed. So yeah, because I love doing what I'm doing. And it has been part of my character ever since I was young. I was in school, I was in student unions, I was having a job, part-time job at the Groentewinkel in Gansenhoef. I was sharing newspapers. I was everywhere.
You was everywhere. So I think it would be very weird for you to actually sit still.
Yeah.
That would be...
But sometimes I have to, because my friends, especially when my friends are like, you have to be careful. Are you not coming for dinner with us again? When are you spending time with us? Then I'm like, oh yeah, they are right. Okay. A day non-work is also good. So, yeah.
So you mentioned, because as we were talking, you mentioned your husband. Now, I have information that your husband is a pastor.
Yes, he is.
Making you a soft man.
Yes, I am.
How? Because you, as a pastor's wife, you also have duties to do for the church and some activities that you have. And this also falls into the long list that you are already...
Yes, but then again, yes, I lead the women in the church, but that is not everyday work, and I have an assistant who helps me, and we have a meeting every month, and I prepare the agenda, and I prepare some quotations, and yeah, it's once a month sharing 2 hours with the women. I mean, that is not impossible, and sometimes after church, we visit people who are sick, who are ill, and when I'm in the car or in the train, I call people whom I haven't seen for a long time in church. So yeah, I combine everything. It's really not all that difficult, I think.
Okay. Well, I think it's difficult because I don't know how it. Yeah, I can't position myself in that.
You can.
That's
yeah. But I also believe that
I already see it as a huge thing to be the pastor's wife. Seriously, yeah.
Why?
I think it's scary.
Why?
I don't know why, but I think it's...
Yeah, you think it's scary?
Yeah.
Well, I think, I think what really keeps us going as a couple, my husband and I, is that, and that is also what binds us together, that we believe that as a couple, we have to make sure that the other one is happy in pursuing what he or what I want. So as much as I can, I support him in his work, and as much as he can, he supports me in my work, because we have promised each other that the day that one of us will be miserable and will be felt left behind, that will be a disaster. So yeah, I think he is all very supportive also to what I'm doing. I mean, right now, where are my children? They are with him, and with all the best that I can, I also try to support him in his ministry, and making sure that there's stability in the house, there is peace in the house, there is joy in the house, there is rest in the house. Yeah.
Okay. Well, that also gives me an impression that the family front is also...
Yeah. And I'm not really the traditional also for mommy. I think that people might think, because sometimes it is a calling. I mean, you have to be able to take in that position. But I always say that my husband is the pastor, not me.
Yeah.
Do you understand? And that is the difference. I am at the back. I'm supporting him when he needs me.
Yeah.
But he is the pastor, not me.
Okay. Well, that's clear. But we will, viewers, we've come to the last section of the interview, which is the general issues and advice section. This time around, we're not going to be discussing an issue, but then we are going to be given some advice, because in our culture, there is a saying that says no one is too old for advising. So, Amma, on the front of our parents, for example, when they first came here, they came here in a different situation, different circumstances, but as the younger ones, we have more, we've been given more opportunities actually to find out who we are, what we want to do, what we want to accomplish. And on the road, as we are going to reach where we want to be, if you were to advise us, what would you say?
You mean the younger generation?
Yes.
Yeah, you know, I think the best advice that anybody can ever give to anybody is to make sure that you live to discover the reason why you came to this earth.
Yes.
You know, I believe that everybody came with a mission, and together with the mission, everybody also received a package of talents and abilities. And my advice to everybody who is still in the forming age is to make sure that you discover your passion, you know, what makes your heart tick faster, what it is that can cause you so much joy of doing. And once you discover that, then take it into your hands as something precious and develop it and polish it and work hard for it, because that is your talent that is given into your hands, is the thing that is going to open doors for you. And in doing so, try to be you, because we are living in a society with a lot of peer pressure. You know, if you don't wear this clothes, if you don't hold this smartphone, if you don't have this type of hair, if you don't go to this type of disco, if you blah, 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 you are not part of the group. But it's not about being part of the group, it's about being you. You came alone, you will go alone. So in the meantime, discover you. And work with it.
Okay, I think that's a very good advice, because fitting in is, trust me, I've tried it once. Tried to fit in, I didn't last at all. I ended up even making things even worse for myself till I decided to be myself.
I mean, it is good to socialize. I'm not telling people to be selfish.
No.
You have to socialize, but it is better to influence people than to be influenced by people.
Yeah, that's a very good one. Because I think most of the time, the younger ones especially, we get, how should I say, we get influenced, and also so quickly and so easily.
So easily, you know. And one of the messages I will never forget from my parents, I remember when I was 18 and I was looking around me and I saw all these children, you know, my white friends, you know, going to rijlessen, driver's license, you know, and I said once in a moment of forgetfulness, oh, I also want to have my driver's license. And my dad was like, what? Why? You know, he said, at this age, the most important thing for you to think about is your diploma.
Yes.
After you have your diploma, all other things will come. And it is true. When I got my diploma, I got a job. Taking driving license lessons was nothing. It was nothing. Buying a car was nothing. You know, life goes in stages and in phases. And in every stage of life, there is something to be accomplished. But when you try to run ahead of the stage, that is what gets us into trouble.
Yes.
You know, jumping into a marriage while you are not ready. Having children while you are not ready. Doing the wrong job because you also wanted to have a job just like anybody else. You know, just be very conscious of the stage of life that you are in it, and ask yourself, what is it that I need to accomplish right now to jump into the next stage safely?
Because I like the example you used for the driving.
My dad was like,
I've been there. I thought, oh, I mean, I just need to have a license,
having a car,
and that's it. I actually didn't even think about it, not even what car and how much that's going to cost me every month to keep it. My focus was just the fact that I needed the license, and you will not believe it, but I spent so much money wasted on it, and I could just see when the moment came that it was useful for me to have a license. I didn't even sweat for it. I just went, and it just, it's like God just move things.
There is time for everything.
But the time that it wasn't supposed to be so, and I was just pushing, I was just rushing, I I just kept hitting the wall, hitting the wall, hitting the wall, and then you keep investing money that you don't even have, and then at the end, it's just waste of time and money. Well, apart from that, is there any other thing that you would like to share with us or with the viewers? Or
yes, well, I think what is very important for us to realize, and I mean, as you know, those whom our parents came, and some of us were brought up here, some of us were born here. You know, we when we listen and we watch our parents, we can learn a lot from them. Good things and the bad things.
Yeah.
And I think one of the critical things that I think which is hindering our progress in this society is the idea that, well, we are guests.
Yeah.
You know, this idea that we are migrants and we don't really belong, we don't fit, and maybe one day we'll go back. You know, that is one of the things that I think has hindered some of our parents to achieve their goals in this society. You know, having this idea of we want to go back.
Yeah.
Which is not wrong, but always think that, you know, even if you want to go back, you'll be more useful in Ghana when you have achieved something here, because that what you have achieved, you can take it with you, and do not consider yourself as a guest or as an immigrant.
Like, I'm just going to be here for 5 years. Then
you are not a guest. You know, you are studying here, or maybe you are working, you are paying taxes, you are contributing to the society. You have as much the same rights as anybody else, and claim these rights. You know, because if you don't claim it, nobody's going to give it to you.
Yeah.
You know, nobody's going to open the door automatically for you. Sometimes we have to smash doors, and we have to kick the doors open. And that can only be done with the attitude of self-assurance, with the attitude of you know, that you know who you are, and that you belong, and that you have rights, and that sometimes you have to demand these rights, and that you are not a guest.
Yeah. Okay. I think that's a very good advice. So that brings us then to the end of this episode of Footprints. Thank you very, very, very much for coming today. I really enjoyed it with you. Viewers, Amma Asante is a lovely person. That's just the end of it. And thank you very much for watching. And stay tuned till we come your way the next time. Every day, every Sunday, 6 o'clock on Soulhour TV. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.